Hi, love, this is Elle, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. This video has been a long time in the making. We're going to be talking all about vitamin C, the different types, and what might be best for your skin type and your concern. So before we get started, please hit that subscribe button, scroll on down. It would mean a lot to me. Share this with somebody you think might like it, and let's do it. All right, love, so here it is. You know that this video has been a long time in the making. I really have done my research. I've talked to many different people about this. This is also kind of a difficult topic. The reason being is there are so many different forms of vitamin C. That's why when somebody tells me, oh, you know, I have an intolerance to vitamin C or my skin can't handle vitamin C, my next question is always, what type? And many people don't know that there are many different types of vitamin C, and they're coming up with new ones all the time to make it more accessible that maybe more sensitive skin types or acne-prone skins can use still vitamin C, but one that is a little bit more tolerable. So today we're going to talk about why you need vitamin C, the different types, like I said, and then we're going to go through a few products and kind of break that down and tell you the ones that I prefer. So first of all, vitamin C is an antioxidant. It helps protect the skin from free radicals, so environmental aggressors. It also is a collagen and stabilizer, enhancer, and a protector. So vitamin C is very good for the skin. It is one of the ingredients that has been studied the most, and most dermatologists recommend vitamin C. Now, again, like I said, there are very many different types of vitamin C, and they do different things, okay? So some vitamin Cs are there more for that antioxidant protection. Some are there more for, you know, brightening of the skin. Some of them are there more for basically collagen production or protection. So there's a lot of different versions, and it depends on what you want it to do. Listen, so grab some tea, grab some wine, grab some coffee, some water, or whatever. Let's sit tight and let's really chat about this. I have my whole computer actually out for this one because there is just so much to know that I have all of my notes down here, and I want to make sure I give you the best information possible. This goes back to making sure that you read your ingredients, okay? You need to go into your ingredients of your products and know the type of vitamin C that is in there. And if you don't Google every single ingredient and you'll get that ingredient, you'll pull out the vitamin C. Now, I like to see vitamin C, if it's a vitamin C serum, I like to see that at the very top, within the first 2, 3, 4 ingredients, but it definitely needs to be in the first 6, okay, to be effective. There's a couple things to consider when considering a vitamin C serum. First of all, the different types. I'm just going to list off a few here, and then we're going to go into depth a little bit later on. Obviously, you've heard of the form of L-ascorbic acid. You've also probably heard of Tetrahexyldecyl, ascorbate, ascorbate palmitate, and a sodium ascorbyl phosphate, among many others, right? But they're also not created all equal. And it's really important that vitamin C is formulated well and also has a really great bioavailable, so it can absorb and do what it needs to do in the skin. You know, as we know, most serums on the market, you'll hear and see, it's L-ascorbic acid. L-ascorbic acid, which they call, is like the gold standard of vitamin C, but not everybody can use L-ascorbic acid. It is one of the more forms of vitamin C that does have a tendency or potential to cause reactions on the skin. But you'll start hearing that most professionals and experts prefer Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, which is in one of my favorite serums, and you'll have to wait to the end to hear that. The second thing to consider is concentration. Now, everybody hears about, like, the Drunk Elephant serum is L-ascorbic acid with ferulic and vitamin E, but their concentration is 20%, okay? Now, that doesn't always mean that it's better. More is not here, okay? More is not better on this situation. So the way that it's been tested, the concentration of at least 10% L-ascorbic acid is recommended. However, you will find some products on the market that offer 15 to 20, okay? And that's where you find that kind of irritation point sometimes. That's why whenever I talk about the Drunk Elephant serum, I say, if your skin can handle it. But there's many different forms that are 5%, 10%, 3% that are very effective and do what they need to do. So don't get caught up on the percentages like, oh, this is 20% vitamin C, that's going to be better. Okay, so concentrate on the type of vitamin C is my recommendation. You'll also see a lot of them. So for example, the timeless vitamin C, obviously the Glow Maker, by Maylove, the Drunk Elephant one, they have ferulic acid and vitamin E in it. And the reason why they have that in there is it's a stabilizer. Obviously, it keeps it from degrading because vitamin C is extremely unstable and very hard to keep stable. And it's also there to help with penetration and obviously do a couple other good things to the skin. So that's why you see them in there. So that's why they are incorporating those three ingredients together, because it has been proven that that makes the vitamin C more potent, okay? And that's why you see so many people formulating with those three together. I do want to talk about price, guys, okay? This is the thing. Doesn't always mean it, okay? Is sometimes, but I'd say majority. Price sometimes can dictate how great the quality of vitamin C is, how great the quality of the other ingredients in it, and how well it's formulated. Sometimes vitamin C's you get what you pay for, okay? That's just throwing that out there, all right? It's really pricey to make a vitamin C stable for longer shelf life, and also have a bioavailable for our bodies. And that's really important when you're creating vitamin C serum. But it doesn't always mean that it's better. For example, this is a great formulation of vitamin C, which is the Maylove the Glow Maker. Mad Hippie makes a great vitamin C with all great ingredients in it, and that's really affordable. So it can go both ways, so just keep that in mind. Let's get into some different types. So we're first going to start off with ascorbic acid, which is what you've heard, Elle ascorbic acid. This is, like I said, the gold standard in ingredients, but however, the pH of it, like organically, is really low. And so sometimes it can cause, harshness on the skin and sensitivity. And also too, in the skin, most of these things convert to ascorbic acid, and it already is ascorbic acid, so there's no conversion in it. And that's why they say it's the gold standard in vitamin C. Let's talk about sodium ascorbyl phosphate, and that's another common one. This has definitely been tested in human trials. It is studied that it is effective, but it is not as effective as ascorbic acid. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be. But it definitely is something to consider. So if you're more sensitive, you might want to reach for something that has sodium ascorbyl phosphate in it. The next one will be magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, and it's stable at pH 7. It does penetrate, it has been shown, but the studies on this ingredient, and again, you'll hear this one a lot, are very limited. The actual physical studies of this product. And there is no studies that it actually does penetrate as well as the others that we've just talked about. Another very popular one is ascorbyl palmitate. It has the same stability issues as ascorbic acid, but it requires that low pH. So when you see that in an ingredient list, make sure that it's in there with that kind of ferulic and vitamin E. But it doesn't have a ton of testing on this ingredient, but it does, the only testing that they have come out with is that it does protect from UV, just like ascorbic acid does. So that's good to know. You can get whole vitamin C naturally found in like rosehip. That's when we talk about rosehip is also in vitamin A and a vitamin C. Sea buckthorn berries, citrus fruit, marula oil, pomegranate seeds. So you can also get those natural sources of vitamin C from those, but that's also why they put them in other products and call them a vitamin C serum, those types of ingredients, because they are a natural source of vitamin C. All right, so let's talk about my favorite form of vitamin C, and it is I say it wrong every single time, it's the Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. This is a stable form of vitamin C innately, okay? And you're gonna see a lot more companies using this as their vitamin C form. Now, it's more expensive, and I will say that. But it is a stable form of vitamin C, and it's considered, got a little helper in here. So it is considered an analog of L-ascorbic acid, but unlike pure vitamin C ascorbic acid, Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate is actually lipid, so fat soluble. This is what's really, really important, and that's why it's really important to understand why it is so stable and readily available for your skin. Some researchers believe that this form of vitamin C has a greater affinity for skin because its fatty acid component helps aid in penetration. It pairs well with other forms of vitamin C and retinol for enhanced effectiveness. You guys, this is what I really wanted to talk to you about. This is in my favorite serum by Truth Treatments. It's in the vitamin C balm, it's in their omega healing balm, I believe, but it's also in their vitamin C serum, okay? And this is why I've never had anybody have a reaction that I know of to this form of vitamin C, because it is so fat soluble. I am slowly starting to go only into the Truth Treatments vitamin C just because I just wholeheartedly believe in it, all right? So that's something to consider, and it's also why it's kind of expensive. But let's take a look at a few products that we recommend. So for example, the TATCHA Violet C Brightening Serum that we all know. It has this, I'll put the name right here. It's bis-glycerin ascorbate, okay? So anything that has ascorbyl, like ascorbate, bait at the very end is going to be your vitamin C component. That's going to be your ingredient. This is something interesting. This is something I've never heard of. It is a moisturizing ascorbic acid produced by binding ascorbic acid to glycerin. So it's easily formulated as an emulsion, a gel, cosmetic, blah, blah, blah. But I thought this was really interesting because it's bound to glycerin, which is a hydrator. So it actually maybe leaves more room for less sensitivity to ascorbic acid. So it's something just to consider, but that's why I'm saying it's interesting to look at these ingredients. As you know, May Love's Glow Maker is L-ascorbic acid with ferulic and vitamin E. Pretty straightforward. I do want to talk about the new Counter Beauty All Bright C Serum. It's a brand new launch. It has Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate vitamin C. It also has the same vitamin C that has in the TATCHA serum. It has the bis-glyceryl ascorbate. It also has turmeric in it, and then camu. But it's an interesting combination. I think it's kind of interesting and very intriguing for me. The one thing I will say is that you'll hear a lot of people say that this is not going to be very effective. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I'm looking forward to trying it. It is $79. But the first ingredient is water. I want to give a point of difference. Truth Treatments, they have no water in their products at all. Their ingredient list consists of like 3 to 6 ingredients. They are going to be more potent. I'm just saying they are, okay? But this is something interesting if you don't want to go the Truth Treatments way, because the third ingredient is the bis-glyceryl ascorbate, and then the fourth ingredient is the Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. So they're pretty high on the ingredient list. So it's something to note, and it's definitely something to look into if you are a Beauty Counter fan. But I find that really inspiring to see them bring that out on the market. As you know, the SkinCeuticals is a vitamin C and ferulic acid. It's L-ascorbic acid. It's pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. I did want to talk about the Mad Hippie Vitamin C Serum, which I have actually talked about a lot of times. It's really nice, and it has a very gentle form of vitamin C that is in the form of sodium ascorbyl phosphate. As well as it has other ingredients in it to kind of boost the vitamin C, as well as vitamin E, ferulic acid, hyaluronic acid, etc. It's a really nice vitamin C, but it's going to be more for that environmental protection. If you're looking for something for hyperpigmentation, you need to go with things that have greater amounts of vitamin C as far as up on the ingredient list and more effective forms, okay? So that's why I keep going back to this Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. It's just really, really effective. I know a lot of you guys use the True Botanicals vitamin C booster. It is a pretty unique formula. It has L-ascorbic acid, obviously, which we know is a good vitamin C, but it doesn't have all of the kind of extra stuff that can help not cause irritation. So I would mix this with something else to kind of cut that if that's something that you want to use. I know a lot of you guys use the 100% pure vitamin C serum. This is a really interesting vitamin C. It uses a stable form of vitamin C, which is a magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. It contains no fillers. It does not contain any potential toxicities or irritants. Although this product does not list the concentration of vitamin C, magnesium ascorbyl phosphate is the second ingredient on this ingredient list behind organic aloe vera gel, which is great, and you know I love that. So for me, that might be something that is a really great vitamin C for somebody that has like acne prone skin or is a little bit more sensitive to vitamin C. But I really urge you to go with that Tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, because I don't think you will have any kind of irritation to that. So let's talk about the timeless vitamin C. I get a lot of questions about this vitamin C. Why don't I like it? Why don't I use it? So many people use it, all of this stuff. And I want to chat with you about that. So when you look at the ingredients, and I have used it in the past, when you look at the actual ingredients, the L-ascorbic acid is the third ingredient. And then the rest of them are pretty much like hydrators, things like that. There's also ferulic acid in here. But the things that bother me are which is the second to last ingredient, and it's the benzyl alcohol. It has a score on the EWG website, has a score of 4. So for me, I don't understand why it's in there. You know, this is the problem, is it's a very inexpensive product. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm not saying that it's good. I'm just saying I'm not quite sure that the formulation is as advantageous as some of the other products that we've talked about. I think for me, this product is, and again, don't shoot me. I know a lot of you guys love this product, but you know, it is what you get, in my opinion, for this one. This ingredient is a concern. The concern is known as a human toxicant or allergen. It's classified as expected to be toxic or harmful. Again, it's kind of lower on the range of it, but it is a number 4. So that's the ingredient in there that really bothers me. There is sodium hyaluronate, which is obviously hyaluronic acid. I do like that it's fragrance free. I think that's great. Polysorbate 80 is also in the ingredient list, and it's a surfactant and emulsifier. I don't know. That's why I'm just like, you know, for me, I rather just go with the other ones, but that's the only reason why is because I don't know if I trust the formulation. That's all. There's nothing against the brand. This is probably going to cause a whole big of an issue, but there's nothing wrong with the brand. For me, I choose to use a more, in my eyes, in my personal opinion, effective vitamin C that is also a lot more well tolerated. My last one that we'll look into, because I know this is a long video, thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me, is I want to look into the Paula's Choice C15 booster, the vitamin C serum from Paula's Choice. The ingredient list looks pretty good. The first ingredient, again, is water, not the worst thing in the world, but just an FYI. The second one is ascorbic acid. So it is that great ingredient, but it has a lot of PPGs and PEGs in it. There is ferulic acid in here, castor oil, which I don't really have a big problem with. But in my opinion, it could have a potential for a little bit more sensitivity than a few others, but I do like where the vitamin C falls on the ingredient list. It is going to be very potent for hyperpigmentation, brightening the skin, and of course all the other things, UV damage, of course, like that. But I don't love the PPGs in here and the PEGs. And it is a hydrogenated castor oil, which to me is not like ideal, but you know, Paula's Choice isn't like a holistic skincare brand, even though they know their stuff. But yeah, so for me, it's a good vitamin C. It's on sale right now for $41.65. And I know a lot of people really like it. It has 15% pure vitamin C. So you hear that again, it's pure vitamin C, ascorbic acid. And it does have the stabilizers in it to make it a little more penetratable and a little bit more user-friendly. Again, I have not been religious on my truth treatments, but since kind of doing all of this research for this video for you guys, I just keep coming back to that this is one of the most amazing ingredients or forms of forms of effective vitamin C that is completely stable, and you don't have to worry about it ever going bad, because once your vitamin C turns like a bright orange, it's done. Okay, so that is something also to consider. The last note I will leave you is, if you do buy a vitamin C, make sure that your vitamin C, if it's L-ascorbic acid or all of the other versions, is in a container that has like an amber glass to it. I would like it better if it was completely concealed, like the Timeless just repackaged their vitamin C. That's a much better packaging with an airless pump. Same thing with Drunk Elephant. Those are a little bit better. Same with Paula's Choice. They're all kind of covered because UV or light will actually degrade your vitamin C faster. And then vitamin C that I use, all of them, actually is where I keep it is in the refrigerator. So my cosmetic fridge, or you can pop it in your refrigerator. So that is it. Thank you all so much for being here. I will try my best to answer all questions in the comment section below if you have any. Again, I know it's a deep topic. There are many forms I did not talk about. Just please do your own research. Be educated, be an educated consumer when it comes to vitamin C's. Don't believe all of the marketing that goes around it. Look into ingredient lists. This is where you're spending your money. So yeah, so I hope that this helps you. Again, I'm so sorry it's so long, but again, it's a very wide topic. So thank you all so much. Give me a little hashtag Stay to the End Squad, and I really love y'all, and I'll see you soon. Bye, loves. Another one I want to talk about is the vitamin C from Lemieux, because I know a lot of us use that one. What I like about it is that it uses a stable form of vitamin C, as we know, which is the magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. It also has vitamin B and E in it to help with that penetration. And it also has amino acids, and then a little bit more antioxidants like ferulic, all that type of stuff, and hyaluronic acid. The first ingredient on this product, which I also love, the reason why we talk about it is because it's not water, it's hyaluronic acid. Now, for some of us, we can't use hyaluronic acid or we don't like it, so that's just FYI. But it's not water, so it's not, diluted down. The second ingredient is the magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. That's right where you want it to be effective. And then vitamin E is next, okay? So that's what you really want. It also has niacinamide in it. There's a lot of great things about this vitamin C, and it's also in, I have it right here. It's also in the dark container. That should be a much more tolerated vitamin C is the magnesium ascorbyl phosphate if you are a little sensitive to vitamin C. So that's also why I always recommend this vitamin C as well. Okay, so just a little side note.